Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining. Right now, I will be showing you a video about ube yema pandesal. So for the video,
So let's start again. There's a little technical issue, so I'm going to start again. I won't go through the introduction anymore. And oh Lord our God, please make sure that this works and doesn't hang anymore. So, guys, once again, apologies, and I hope you enjoy this ube pandesal video with Chef Casey. We will answer all your questions and go into our products after po this demo. Maraming salamat po.
hello everyone, thank you very much for joining. Right now, I will be showing you a video about ube yema pandesal. So for the video, I will be teaching you the step-by-step procedural on how to make the proper way of kneading breads, fermentation, proofing, and then baking. So I hope this video could help you in selling for a small business. Thank you very much.
$400 grams of bread flour, 100 grams of all-purpose flour, 80 grams of sugar, 10 grams of cremidor, 6 grams of bream, the bread improver. Then we have our sweet mashed potato, 40 grams. Here we have our water, 200 grams. We're going to add to the water 2 eggs, pieces of eggs. So here is our 2 pieces of eggs plus the ube flavor. Before we start kneading, let's do first the mise en place. So the first set will be the dry ingredients, which is the bread flour, the all-purpose flour, the sugar, the cremidor, the bream, and the sweet potato mash. And then the second set is the liquid, which is the water, the eggs, and the ube flavorade. The third step will be our salt. Fourth step, bulb, the butter oil blend. So this is the process of kneading. When you said kneading, there are 3 reasons. The first reason is blending. The blending is when you blend all the dry ingredients. After blending, the second reason for kneading is hydration. The process of hydration is when you're going to add the water or the liquid to your dry ingredients. Normally, what I do, I add 70% of liquid to my dry ingredients. The next 10%. Make sure all the flour has been absorbed. So you have to give time in kneading. Another 10%. And the remaining 10%. So here, if you notice, all my liquid ingredients has been added to the dry ingredients in the bowl. But still, there are flour on the sides. You can still add more water, but you have to control the hydration. This is the extra water. So give time in kneading. What you're looking for is the pickup stage. When you said the pickup stage, all of the flour here on the side must be absorbed. Or malinis dapat yung sides ng bowl nyo. So just give time in kneading. Sometimes yung water nasa ilalim ng dough. Don't worry about the sweet potato. If you see their yellow part there on the dough, it's still okay. Later, mawawala yan. Just need, if there is still flour here at the sides, you can add a little bit of water. Very little lang. Remember, you're looking for a pick-up stage. Yan, malapit na. A little bit speed. And konting flour, water pa. Yan. Most of the flour has been absorbed. You just need it a little bit more to develop gluten. So the third step after hydration is to develop gluten. So this one, if you see, this is the gluten. Hindi pa siya ganon ka-strong. If the gluten is strong, yung texture ng dough nyo, it will become smoother and elastic. So here, if you notice, the texture of your dough becomes smoother. That's the time you add your salt. The function of salt here is to strengthen the gluten. So once you add the salt, mas mabilis siyang mag-form ng gluten and to make it more stronger. Just give it some time to knead until na mag-dilute yung salt sa dough. At the same time, it becomes elastic. So check your dough, it's a little bit smooth. And there's the gluten, you see? Pag umiikot siya, pag hinihila niya, hindi na siya napuputol. So that's the time you can add your bob. When you're adding your bob, you just add 50% muna. Then, if your fat, it's almost diluted, under 50% you may add. The purpose of this one is to be evenly distributed. Increase the speed a little. If you notice if your dough become too sticky when kneading, you just have to increase your speed. If your dough like that, hindi siya gumagalaw, it means you have to scrape it from the bottom para umikot siya. Sometimes stick para mag yung dough nyo. Make sure it's moving like that. If yung dough nakastick sa ilalim, you just sprinkle a little bit of flour sa sides. So just keep on kneading until all the fat has been absorbed by the dough. So this is the gluten. It's developed. It's really soft. See? That's the gluten. You can stretch it out. Okay. Then after this step will be the process of fermentation. So here, I have prepared the pan. You just put some water into your pan. Instead of doing some oil, just put some water and then remove the water. Remove the water. Yan. So, a little bit moist lang yung pan nyo. Then, you just put your dough here. So, put your dough here. You just flatten it out para meron siyang room. Huwag masyadong, when you do fermentation, huwag masyadong maliit na bowl. The more space you have, the more the better. After 2 hours of fermentation. So right now, we will be making the ube halaya filling. So for the ube halaya filling, we need yema filling, 200 grams, the easy mix creamy dough, 20 grams, and the ube flavor aid. For the ube halaya filling, this is the yema, 200 grams. Then you just add your creamy dough, 20 grams. Then you just mix it until smooth consistency. Then the ube flavor aid. So for the ube flavor aid or any flavored products, you could just add accordingly. What's nice with the ube flavor aid is there's no aftertaste, even if you add more. This is the dough after 2.5 hours of fermentation. So you just remove this cling wrap slowly. Slowly remove it. If it's too sticky, you could use your de-scraper. Don't worry about the dough, it's a little bit sticky. And then you just get flour, set on top. Cover it with flour. Para it's easier to handle, but not too much, okay? Then after you do the degassing, you just press it because you want to remove the CO2 or the carbon dioxide and oxygen. That's why we do the process of degassing. Smells like ube. So this one, after degassing, you just dust some flour. What I do, I just coat it para it's easier. But don't move your flour too much. Yung iba kasi when I saw the video, ginaganon-ganon nila. After you degas it, you just let it sit for a while. And then we're going to do the portioning or scaling. So when you said the portioning or scaling, put some flour sa hands nyo. When you do portioning or scaling, this is the time if you want to make your dough according to its size, weight. And then you just cut it. That's how you do the portion. It's either like this, horizontal or vertical. Wag yung paiba-iba para hindi masyadong ma-overwork yung gluten. It's really soft. So we're going to do 50 grams. So more or less you have an eyeball. So bench it. Let it set. Let it sit, sorry. Then you cut it. And that's 50 grams. Eyeball na lang. You could do the eyeball if you have. After you portion your dough, it's the time we do the rounding. So just put your flour here at the top and get your dough, just coat it with the flour, and then you do the rounding. Let it set. Again, coat it with the flour, not too much. Then top it off, press, then round. So when you do the rounding, iniipit mo siya from here and here. Hindi lang siya iniikot. Okay? Don't add too much flour or else yung dough nyo magiging too dry. Press, then you round. Ipitin mo siya here. Then, if you're familiar with one hand, then you could do both hands na. You coat it with the dough. Then you dust it off. Then you round it. This is the rounding. After the rounding, you just cover it with the cling wrap or a damp towel here on top to prevent it from drying. So this is the step of benching or immediate proofing. The purpose of benching here is to relax the gluten. Kasi kapag ginalaw mo yung dough, yung gluten mo nagiging para siyang goma, bumabalik siya. So you just let the dough relax for 15 to 20 minutes for the gluten to loosen out, and then we'll do the make-up. So for the make-up, we're going to do first our crumbs. So for the crumbs, I'm using the breadcrumbs, and then normally I just add a little bit of ube flavorate. Shake it. Then you just mix it to distribute the color. What's nice with this one, if you put a little bit of the flavorate to your breadcrumbs, it creates a more ube, a realistic ube color. Para mas maganda. Normally kasi when you bake your bread, after you bake it, nagiging brown yung bread nyo. So, hindi masyadong magandang tingnan sa mata. So, if you put a little ube flavorate on your breadcrumbs, mas maganda siyang tingnan. Kasi na-maintain niya yung color ube. Then, just set this aside. Aside from ube, you could use buko pa, use chocolate to make a mocha. That's it. Then it's up to you if you want to add more ube, that's okay. This is the makeup process. So after you bench all your dough, the gluten has already been relaxed. So we're going to do the makeup. Just remove the dough. Okay. So normally in your table here, what I dust a little bit of flour here, and then you just get your dough, coat it with the flour. Just a little bit lang. Huwag masyadong madami. The purpose of coating the flour here is to prevent the dough from sticking it out. But you don't want to create too much flour kasi it will create a dry surface on top. So here, kung hindi na siya ganun ka-sticky, just top it off. And then yung top part niya, invert mo. And then you just press. Like a hamburger. Wag masyadong flatten na flatten. This flat, that's okay already. Yan, flat mo lang. Just make sure. And then this is our filling, the ube halaya, the ube yema filling. This is the ube yema. We put an ube flavor to make it halaya version. And then here, we have the cheese at the center. Then here, you just pull. Then, dikit mo dito. Then here, pull mo lang. Dikit mo. Then yung four corners na dito, pull mo lang pataas. Para lang mag-seal sila. Ang goal mo lang dito is mag-seal yung bottom mo. And then konting round. Then after this one, you just coat it sa breadcrumbs. Coat it with breadcrumbs. Mas maganda if yung buong pandesal mo coated with breadcrumbs para crunchy siya. Then after this one, just put it on a tray. No need for you to grease the tray because yung breadcrumbs, it will prevent it from sticking it out. So again, just coat your dough. You just roll it. Yan. And then yung top niya, invert mo, press. Just use your palm here. You just press it. Just make sure hindi siya dumidikit. So it's better if you use a silicone mat or if you have a marble table, maganda rin, malamig din. A wooden table, okay din siya. Or formica, okay din. Then the filling, you just pipe the filling at the center. A little bit of filling lang because this is a bread, this is not a cake. Press, pull, pinch. Pull, pinch. Then yung four corners, pinch, pinch, pinch. That's it na. Ikot natin konting bilog lang para bilog pa rin siya. And then, this one will go to your tray. One more. Pag naubos na yung flour, dust lang ng flour. Dust and then ganyan lang gawin nyo. Huwag masyadong madami. You can use any type of flour. Pwedeng bread flour, all-purpose flour. Normally, kung anong flour yung nilagay mo sa bread mo, yun yung gagamitin mo na flour. Pero this one, this is just a dusting flour. So, any type of flour. Then, invert. Then, pipe at the center. This is really good. Hindi siya masyadong matamis. You could sell it. You could make a bigger version of this one. Maganda rin. Etong dough na to, you could use the, not just ube, you could make any flavorings. Like the buko pandan, masarap din siya. The mocha, okay din. The chocolates, okay then. If you want to make a plain pandesal, lagyan mo siya ng konting vanilla flavoring para mabango. This one. And coat it again. Yan, this one. Invert, then press. See, it's easy kapag yung dough mo properly bench, na-relax na yung gluten, susunod siya sa'yo. Don't put too much. Press. Pull. Four corners. Yan. Basta ang goal lang dito is you pinch. Another reason pa you don't want to have too much flour kasi when you do the pinching, kapag maraming flour, hindi siya didikit. So, as much as possible, nakita nyo, siya. So, maganda pa rin yung likod niya. And ikot mo lang siya, round it a little bit, very light lang. Then, you dip it sa breadcrumbs. Then, this is our pandesal. Ready to proof na siya. Okay? So, you just put it on a tray without any grease. That's okay. You just put at least 2 inch apart. Kasi the next stage will be the proofing. When you set the proofing stage, hahayaan mo mag-double yung volume niya. Hanggang mag-double na yung volume niya, then you bake it. So this is our ube pandesal. It's rising already. We're going to check if it's proof already, if it's ready to bake. So you just press it here. And then if it bounce back a little bit, and then may naiwan na mark here, it means it's ready na. So one more. Don't press it too hard. Just very light lang. Yan. This one, bounce back na siya. It's ready na. Meaning it's ready.
Chef.
So you could start baking this at 150 to 180 degrees Celsius for 13 to 15 minutes.
Okay, so hey guys. So again, we're back here with Chef Casey. And I think the buns are now in the oven. Hello, Chef.
Hi!
I think a lot of people are watching us. Naka 700 people na tayo.
Yes.
Tayo, mag-explain tayo ng a few things. But before that, I'd like to welcome again everybody. And if in case some people are wondering bakit naka-coat si Sir Martin ngayon, it's because Chef Casey is wearing makeup and lipstick today. Chef wearing lipstick and makeup, kailangan maka-coat din ako kasi di pa din magtaluhan eh. So, eto, habang ngayon nanonood kayo while the buns are still in the oven, I think Chef Casey has some things to explain. We have 12 steps in bread making, and we would like to elaborate on this before we answer the questions po. Diba? So, Chef, I think let's start with the first one, which is scaling.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Sir Martin. So, sa recipe natin, meron kaming nilagay doon na 12 steps in bread baking. So, for the beginner's baker, it's better na if you understand muna ang bread, yung takbo ng bread, kasi iba ang bread sa cakes, okay? So, the first step is scaling. So, when you said scaling, this is the mise en place. Ano yung mise en place? This is where you prepare and weigh all the ingredients isa-isa. Very important yan sa baking. Kailangan maayos. Hindi tayo pareho ng cooking, pabara-bara. Then, the second step is kneading. This is the very important part. Sa kneading natin, sa breads kasi, you want to develop gluten. Dapat elastic yung dough mo, dapat medyo chew siya sa gluten. And yung cakes, you don't want gluten, that's why you don't want to overknead it. But sa breads, you want to overknead it. Sa kneading, you have to understand, meron tayong 3 reasons to kneading. The first reason is blending. This is the way we blend all the dry ingredients. And the second reason is hydration. Actually, the process of hydration is very important sa bread. Andun yung pinaka-secret ng bread mo. Kailangan properly hydrated yung starch nyo, meaning yung flour nyo with the liquid ingredients. Ito yung mga water, mga egg, anything na dito pumapasok yung hydration.
Chef,
Once,
sorry
yes?
Chef, ika-cut off muna kita kasi malapit nang lumabas sa oven yung malapit nang lumabas sa oven eh. Pero i-interrupt ko muna si Chef. I'd also like to tell people who are asking for the recipe. The recipe is posted in the beginning of the video, which will be available later also. Pero ipopost rin namin yung recipe on our Facebook after this demo. Alright? So, ayun. I think nilabas na yata yung, di ba? Okay, malapit na lumabas yung
bread.
Sorry, na timing talaga namin. Sana nag-enjoy kayo, parang comedy, no?
Wag lang kayo matutulog, guys, wake up!
So, I think we're almost done with the bread. Is it coming out of the oven yet? Not yet. So guys, na timing talaga namin to para lang makita nyo. Pero again, maraming salamat po in joining us. We have 700 views, which is pretty darn awesome. So I'm asking our viewers, what are you guys thinking? I think the bread is out. And I think this is what the texture of the bread should look like. This is the ube yema pandesal of Chef Hazy. Ganun ba talaga dapat ang itsura ng pandesal, Chef?
Yes. Crispy siya, crispy and chewy siya sa loob.
Sana nga matikman natin, no? Hanggang video lang.
Gawa na lang kayo.
Gawa kayo, tapos padalan nyo kami, ha? Anyway, so I think that's about it for this whole demo. Maraming salamat. And now we can go back to the hydration. Sorry, nataranta eh. So, Chef, stop tayo sa hydration.
Yes. So, after, again second step natin is kneading, right? So, kneading, tayong tatlong reason, the blending, all the dry ingredients. Second is hydration. So, once yung flour nyo at saka yung water nyo nag-heat up na siya, that's the time you want to develop gluten. Reason, you want to develop gluten. Gusto natin maging elastic yung dough natin. So, how would we know kapag naging elastic na yung dough natin? So, yung dough nyo, as the glutens develop, nagiging smooth na siya. Parang skin na siya ng baby. Tapos naging elastic na siya. That's why they call it a window pane test, yung the gluten testing. Pag ini-stretch out yung gluten, you could see a window pane, parang shadow, parang wind na shadow siya. So, it means it's ready. So, after your dough, it's properly, may gluten na siya, the third step will be the fermentation process. The fermentation process is very important. Ito yung iniiwan muna natin yung dough natin sa labas for a few hours para mag-grow siya ng doubles ng volume niya. Anong nangyayari sa fermentation process? Yung yeast nyo, kinakain niya yung sugar. Once kinakain yung yeast niya yung sugar, nag-start na siya magtrabaho. Once nakain niya na, mag-create na siya ng carbon dioxide. That's why yung dough nyo, nagdodol yung volume niya because of the carbon dioxide. And then dun sa carbon dioxide, meron siyang alcohol, it create acids, it creates flavor of your bread, yung aroma ng bread nyo. So kapag longer yung fermentation nyo, mas flavorful yung bread nyo. But, hindi siya, if hindi naman siya porket, ay gusto ko mas flavorful yung bread ko, yung fermentation ko gawin natin 4 or 5 hours, no. So fermentation natin for this bread is around 1 to 2 hours only. Kasi if it's more than that, nagiging maasim yung bread nyo, too much acid. So, nagka-create na siya ng too much alcohol. So, doon na papasok yung next step, which is the degassing. The reason why we degass it, because we want to remove the carbon dioxide. Or else, kasi kapag, if the yeast keep on growing, mag-create siya ng alcohol, hindi maasim na maasim siya. So, we want to degass it just to remove the carbon dioxide, and we want to incorporate new oxygen with the dough. Then, after that, kaya nyo pa ba? This is just a guide para lang maintindihan nyo yung process, ha?
Guys,
Guys,
awesome.
understand?
This is
Are you guys listening very carefully?
free knowledge, guys.
Yeah, so after the gassing, the next step will be the scaling again. In the scaling here, ito na yung pumapasok yung you're going to sa nyo, is it 50 grams, 60 grams, 80 grams, kayo nang bahala, nasa sa inyo na yan. So after you scale it, you do the rounding. Iikutin nyo siya. Ikutin nyo lang siya ng very light rounding lang, and then every time na ginagalaw nyo yung dough nyo, napapansin nyo, bumabalik siya ng parang goma. Hindi siya sumusunod sa'yo. Kapag hindi sumusunod yung dough mo, iwan mo lang siya sa tabi, hayaan mo lang siyang mag-rest for the gluten to relax. Ang tawag natin dyan is benching or immediate proofing. So, every time na ginagalaw nyo yung dough nyo, no-overwork yung dough, para rin siyang tao, kailangan niya magpahinga. So, basta tandaan nyo lang, kapag yung dough nyo, kunyari, pinapahaba nyo siya, ayaw yung sumunod sa'yo, i-bench mo lang siya. Ilagay mo lang siya sa isang tabi for 5 to 10 minutes for the gluten to relax. Then, after na bench mo na siya, properly pahinga na yung dough nyo, that's the time you do the make-up. Ang tawag natin sa make-up is the final shaping of the dough. When you said final shaping of the dough, dito na pumapasok yung mga actual shape na gusto mo. Bilog ba? Braided ba? Croissant style ba? Nasa sa inyo na kung saan kayo masaya. But this one, we're doing it pandesal, so we just shape it. We shape it, and when we put the filling. After the important step, the next step after ng shaping, the makeup, is the proofing. Proofing naman, pareho lang siya sa fermentation. Ang fermentation kasi, we call it a bulk fermentation, yung buong dough. So when you said proofing, ito na yung individually molded na yung dough nyo. You're going to let it rise until double yung volume niya. So, how would you know kapag ready na yung dough nyo? So, ito example, sabi yung video, ito yung dough nyo. Oops! Ito yung dough nyo. Pag pinrest nyo siya, nag-bounce back siya kaagad ng walang mark, it means underproof, kulang pa. Okay? So, just give it mga few minutes pa. Pag pinrest mo siya, nag-bounce back siya ng dahan-dahan, tapos may konting indentation mark, it means ready na yung dough nyo. So, pwede nyo na siyang i-bake. Then, pagka-bake nyo sa kanya, you bake your pandesal, depende yan guys, kasi ang nakalagay sa recipe natin, around 150 to 180 degrees for 13 to 15 minutes, I think. That's for 50 grams. Pero if you're doing it at 30 grams na mas maliit, syempre yung baking time nyo, mas mababa. I mean, maybe 10 minutes lang, 8 to 10 minutes lang. Or kapag yung pandesal nyo is 100 grams, mas mataas yung oras niya. So, nasa sa inyo na yan sa trial and error nyo. Then, after baking, the next step is cooling. Very important yan. Kailangan yung ilagay yung bread nyo sa cooling rack. Hindi pwedeng nakadikit siya sa table. Bakit? Kasi yung steam, pag nakadikit siya sa table, yung steam nakatap lang siya. So, it will create moisture. Pag nag-create ng moisture, mabilis magkaamag ang bread. So, kailangan properly cool down. Yung moisture lumalabas siya sa ilalim. Meron siyang naka-elevate siya konti. So, once na really cool down ang bread, you have to airtight it. Pack it airtight. And that's it. That's the simple steps in bread baking.
My gosh, parang nagka-crash course tayo sa sa pandesal making. Sana nakinig kayo ha. But anyway, in case you guys missed out on any of the things that Chef Casey has explained This video, like all the previous live videos that we've had on is available po on our Facebook page na pwede noorin niyo ulit at you can take notes again and you can try step by step. So it's available po. Ayun. Galing. Dami pa rin talaga nag-stay. Dami talaga interested sa ano. At sa ang daming interested sa ube pandesal. Ang daming may gusto talaga sa'yo. I think I'll vote for the latter. Diba? So, Chef Casey, thank you so much for joining us here today. So we have a couple of questions that are lined up. Before I dive into them, again, I'd like to say thank you to everybody po for your time for watching us here. And I'd like to make a shout out again to my folks. Hello, Mama and Papa, because you're watching, and I miss you. And thank you to the Bakersfield team, most especially to our technical teams. I'd like to shout out to Chef Joy, who's out there, been answering questions also on our behalf. Chef Reco, Chef Dondon, there's Chef Glecon and Chef Ryan, and Katrina. So they're all there. And the rest of the sales team, Marnelli, Gigi, and her team. Thank you guys for all the support and thank you for everyone. So I think I've made daldal more than enough. I will go into some of the questions, Chef. A question here from Miss Lily Bell Jacob. What is Cremidor? And if I don't have Cremidor, anong pwede kong ipalit?
So Cremidor, it's an instant custard. Actually, it's an instant custard siya. Substitute siya for pastry cream. But this one, sa bread natin, ang pwede mong i-substitute it's milk powder. Bakit Cremidor ginamit ko, hindi milk powder? Milk powder kasi it's just a nutritional value. Wala talaga siyang effect sa nutritional lang siya, dagdag cost lang siya. Si Cremidor, it has a taste of a milk powder and then aroma of vanilla. At the same time, nag-act din siya as a tenderizer sa breads natin, sa mga crumbs ng breads natin. Kinakat niya yung gluten kasi it has a starch, contains starch. So, ang starch kasi wala siyang gluten, wala siyang protein. So, nakakat down niya yung protein natin and then it makes our bread more fluffier. And of course, I also added the bread improver. We're using the Bakersfield bread improver, the Bream. Si Bream naman, siya yung nagpapabigay, nag-act as a tenderizer. Of course, same time yung fermentation process natin para mas mabilis. Instead of bread improver, meron siyang chemical acid rin doon rin sa fermentation process and proofing process natin. Naging mas mabilis na siya.
Ako, I'll question also I think I can answer. Paano kung walang Cremidor at Yema fudge lang ang meron ako? I think milk powder does not have the stabilizing effect that Cremidor can give. Because our fudge it line is as an ice, hindi talaga siya bake stable. But when you apply Cremidor into it, it becomes bake stable for you to put into your breads na pwede nyo bake. So that's with Cremidor. May isang tanong po, Chef. Pwede po ba siya if wooden spoon lang ang gagamit? So wala siyang mixer. She's gonna knead this mano-mano with a wooden spoon.
Yes. Pwede mo siya talaga by hands. Ang bread talaga when you're a beginner in bread, I suggest you do it manually. Hindi siya wooden spoon as in you have to knead it by hands hanggang ma-develop yung gluten.
Di ba dati yung mga sa tandaan pa, papalo pa nila sa likod.
Yes,
Yung bigasing, di ba? Yun yung luma sa mga panadero So,
tama.
So, right. So, tanong dito, how much water is recipe? Paano kung walang breadcrumbs?
So kung walang breadcrumbs, kasi tinawag natin siyang pandesal because we added breadcrumbs, right? So if you don't have a breadcrumbs, it becomes a simple bun. You just call it a soft bun or a ube bun or dinner rolls. Ay bahala. It's a simple bun, normal bun. Pwede naman.
Pero nalabas pa rin.
lalabas pa rin yung color niya. At yung simple bun lang, parang alam mo yung typical na hamburger bun natin, ube color, gano'n. Parang hamburger bun.
Yung
Gano'n.
nagtanong kasi nito, si Ma'am Jennifer, I like that question kasi personally, when I eat pandesal, pandesal is my favorite bread. I love pandesal. Kaya lang I hate the breadcrumbs kasi dinadas-das ko pa. Nakakapikon. So at least alam ko pwede rin yun. So may
Yes,
question dito naman, Chef. Yung ginamit yung breadcrumbs, are those Japanese or Panko breadcrumbs?
This one, sa pandesal natin, to make it more crispier, you use the Japanese breadcrumbs. That's the panko breadcrumbs, right? Rather than yung ordinary breadcrumbs natin. And then dito sa breadcrumbs, I added a little ube flavoring para mas lumitaw pa yung kulay ng mukha siyang ube. Kasi if you use the ordinary breadcrumbs, masyadong maitim. It's not that appetizing. Anyway, this one, the recipe, pwede mo siyang gamitin as special pandesal. Diba? And this recipe too, sir, hindi lang siya for ube flavoring. You could also make the buko pandan flavoring. You could also make the chocolate flavoring, the chocolate pandesal. Masarap siya with chocolate chips and cocoa powder. It's really good.
Actually, we tried that before. For those of you who are still here watching, you try the Bakersfield Mocha Flavorade into the pandesal. You have a nice coffee tasting bun, actually. So, for those of you who don't know, ang Flavor Aid po namin, this is our water-based flavor and color. So, flavor and color na siya, it's water-based, so it doesn't evaporate as much when you bake it. Hindi nawawala yung amoy, hindi nawawala rin yung lasa. So, you can use that for your drinks, for your pastries, for your icing, and as you can see with this recipe with Chef Casey, pwede rin gamitin para sa tinapay. I think I'm going to entertain a few more questions po dito. Chef, one of the questions here is, ano po yung effect pag washed sugar ang gagamitin?
Okay. Kasi 'di ba, when we coat our dough sa crumbs, sa breadcrumbs natin, usually dip natin siya sa water. Then, para lang dumikit siya, it acts as a paste lang siya. If you use a white washed sugar, pwede rin, pero sayang. Kasi parang paste lang siya, pampadikit lang din siya sa breadcrumbs. If you want to use a washed sugar, you just do it in a plain bun. Plain bun, and then ilagay mo yung washed sugar on top para mag-create ng konting caramel color. Yan lang.
Okay. Ito, may tanong dito. Can I use real ube for this recipe or do I have to use a flavoring?
If you use the real ube kasi, it will be heavy. Kasi it's a starch, masyado na siyang mabigat, di ba? Kung gusto mo yung real ube mo, pwede mong ilagay sa filling mo, pwede rin yun. Pero sa video, I showed you an alternative if using real ube. Kasi another disadvantage of using real ube, kasi nag-ano siya, pag matagal, di ba, nagiging maasim. Unlike if you use our Yema filling and then you just add a little bit of cremidor and a little bit of ube flavoring, you create a halaya, parang instant halaya. That recipe, sir, it came from Chef Benicio. Hello! That was his recipe. I got it from him. You just mix our Yema with cremidor plus the ube. Then you have the halaya. Halaya na siya. At the same time, yung shelf life niya mas matagal.
Chef, sige, ang dami pa rin nagtatanong. Okay ka pa? Pwede pa tayo magsagot?
Yes, go ahead!
May tanong ako. Ang ginamit nyo, Chef, na fat in this recipe is the BOB. This is Bakersfield's butter oil blend. Now, a lot of people are also asking, why use the BOB versus a regular fat?
Okay, so for the BOB for everyone, this is a butter oil blend. It has a 99.9% fat. So meaning wala siyang water content. So ang maganda kasi, first, ano ba yung function ng fat sa bread? Ang function ng fat, it acts as a lubricant. At the same time, it acts as a tenderizer for your crumbs. Right? So yung BOB, since 99.9% yung fat niya, 100%, almost 100%, pinapalambot niya na yung crumbs niya. Hindi siya mabilis mag-dry up. At the same time, yung BOB, habang tumatagal yung breads mo, hindi naging dun lumalabas yung flavor and aroma ng butter. Although pwede rin naman kayong substitute ng margarine and you add 20% ng POB, pwede rin. Another advantage ng POB, kaya gusto ko siya, kaya like example, sa recipe, ang fat natin for margarine, they call it 100 grams. If you're using BOB, kahit 70% lang of that 100 grams.
Okay.
Kasi it's 99%, wala na siya. So it's very concentrated yung fat niya.
Not to mention the BOB is butter. So this gives your one of the things I've noticed with using BOB with especially with pandesal is one, it gives it a very nice butter taste, but it also helps increase the shelf life by at least a day. Ang ganda ng moisture content, ang ganda ng moisture bread. So there's also one person here asking, bakit minsan mabilis matuyo ang pandesal?
Yes, true. That's the secret.
Because of the quality of ingredients Bakersfield has, will help increase the shelf life of your breads. Alright.
At the same time, sir, yung BOB, maganda actually siya pag gumagawa kayo ng mga high-fat. Kunyari, the ensaymada. I use BOB sa ensaymada. 100% BOB. It's really good talaga sa bread. Sobrang sarap.
Ang sarap na, lalo na pag nag-age na yung tinapay. One day after that, wow, the full flavor of butter really comes out.
Buttery flavor talaga siya.
So, I guess I have one more question. The rest of the questions, for all of you who still have questions here, guys, paki-type na lang. And then we will also answer, we'll type or we'll message you the answer. Chef Casey and I and the rest of the team will reply on the comments for your questions. I have one last question, if you don't mind, Chef. And this, I think, would be good for a lot of beginners also, is during your video, when you were greasing the pan, normally we put grease, shortening, or even oil or butter into the pan, but you used water. Bakit?
Kasi ang purpose lang naman natin when we put oil is we don't want to slow natin, it will stick na natin. Same lang ng water, just add water. Just add water and then put the dough. Hindi naman siya mag-stick afterwards. Pareho lang siya sa oil. And costing-wise, water costs nothing, right? Yung oil you have to buy pa. So, water na lang. You just coat it with water, your pan, and then you just add the dough and let it rise. Let it ferment.
Chef, last, super. You have an estimate costing on this recipe of yours?
So for this one, if you have the filling with the yema filling, it's around mga 2 to 3 pesos. That's around mga 50 grams na yun. 50 grams, that's a lot.
Malaki na yun.
Malaki na yun. As you could sell that per piece sa labas for 5 or 5 pesos per piece. Pwede na. Not bad na.
Mga 5, magkano yan, Chef? Sorry, hindi kita narinig.
You could sell it for 5 pesos.
Mura na yun.
Yes.
Mura na yan. Pwede mo pang patungan yan. But anyway, so that's about it. Guys, everyone, maraming salamat po for your time. Chef Casey, thank you very much for joining us. I think...
Can I say something?
Sure, of course.
I just want to greet Matty. Happy birthday. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday!
Hi, Matty.
So, yun. So, thanks, everyone. I think next time we have Chef Casey here, she'll be in makeup again. Baka ibang color naman ng lipstick. And we have another recipe with you with Chef Casey, hopefully coming soon. So guys, maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat talaga sa inyo. I hope, and we all hope, that you've learned something today and you're also going to be able to apply these techniques. Ang dami pong information ang natutunan po ngayon. So sana ma-apply nyo rin para hindi rin sayang. So again, we'd like to invite everyone to please follow us, follow our page, set on your notifications because every week meron naman kami po exciting videos and exciting knowledge for you. We invite you to please invite also your friends and your families to join us and share the love with everyone. So with that being said, hello and I forgot, before I say goodbye, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to our team, our hardworking team. There's Kip and Anne and their team with Click. And thank you also to Bakersfield Marketing and Bakersfield Sales and Bakersfield and Actron and everyone, guys. Maraming salamat because also we're one big family. So thank you to everyone and thank you to our team for all the hard work. Much love, guys. Peace, peace. Live long and prosper. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
We love you.